From our studios in Scottsdale, Arizona, this is Retirement News Online. So managing risk in retirement and income planning is crucial for ensuring financial security and a comfortable retirement. Now, it involves understanding the potential risks and implementing strategies to mitigate their impact. And here to talk about this is my guest, Danny Delgado with Arbor Financial Advisors in Chicago. First question, Danny, Chicago, Cubs, White Sox, what are you in between?
Man, I don't want to say.
All right, you don't
but
have
it's,
to.
I live in the south side,
Okay.
Pilsen area, so I root for the White Sox now.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't hold it against me.
no, we don't plan to, but thanks for joining us today. So when you're talking about managing risk, how do you, retirement income, which is where you spend a lot of your time, people saving, investing, they get to a point where you have to turn all that into income, the distribution phase, and sometimes that's 30 or 40 years. How do you protect it from market volatility, sequence of returns risk, all that other stuff?
Yeah, so a lot of times what we want to understand is the client's living expense, right? From there, we'll take an understanding of, do they have Social Security, pensions, annuities, variable annuities, income. So, we kind of take a look at it like a puzzle, right? And we just want to make sure we fit the right piece at the right place to figure out their income needs.
So actually listen to people.
I understand.
What an idea. I love that. Right now, inflation, is an impact right now, so that's the loss of purchasing power. How do you address that in your planning with clients?
Yeah, so we use a 3-bucket strategy. For the first bucket, it's going to be growth. So that'll help you with inflation. The second bucket we talked about is going to be protecting their principal. So make sure there's a negative downturn in the market, we're able to protect their assets.
Okay. And then, so, the good news is a lot of people, because of medical science, they're living a lot longer, but we have to pay for that.
Correct.
Right? So retirements are 20, 30, sometimes 40 years. So we talk about longevity risk. Most people don't think about living a long time as being a risk, but that means living for 30 or 40 years without a paycheck, and we have to figure out how to maximize everything that they've saved and turn that into income in a way that will allow them to have money for every day that they live and not like have this enormous tax problem. So talk about that. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so utilizing the 3-bucket approach, we also understand the 4% rule. So with the 4% rule is that you're able to take 4% of your assets in the growth bucket without running out of money, and that's how we help mitigate some of that longevity risk.
Okay. And then let's talk about how do you, so it's guaranteed income is one of the things. Social Security is
Correct.
guaranteed income. And I think these days, if you don't have at least $2 million saved, you're probably going to be relying at some level on Social Security potentially. So how do you create the other part of that, Social Security, the guaranteed income, how do you create more guaranteed income to fill that gap?
Yeah, so again, going back to that 3-bucket strategy, we look at the protected bucket and we do guaranteed income. So similar to a pension, obviously it's not, but what we want to do is simulate something you're going to get guaranteed that's like a pension, right? A pension's a dying breed these days, right? You rarely see it. So people would love about it is that you have that guaranteed income regardless of what the market does.
And finally, this doesn't sound like it's set it and forget it. I mean, you have to constantly be vigilant and make adjustments, obviously, when things like, market fluctuation, what we saw back in April with the market down 3,000 points, and a lot of people started to sell, and now we're back, and a lot of people have probably missed out on that, but making sure that you have a plan in place that's got sort of a contingency plan, right? Yeah.
So, I always like to be fully transparent with my clients and have them understand, hey, when we develop this 3-bucket approach, your growth bucket, when the market falls, is going to fall. However, with the protected bucket, when the market falls, guess what? Your principal is going to be protected and you're going to have that guaranteed income. So I prepare them for market downturns like we had in April.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking with us today.
Appreciate it.
That's Danny Delgado. He practices in Chicago, and this is Retirement News Online. Thanks for watching.